KekCast week 2. We're back with the usual suspects, me, X, and Briss. It was a crazy week this week in football, so we're going to start there. Topic number 1 of the night is a contentious one in our group chat. We were getting pretty heated over it throughout the week. First topic, is Malik Nabers a pussy? Now, the world's saying he's a pussy because he's in concussion protocol and he went to a Travis Scott concert. I'm sitting over here as a Giants fan like, you know what? Who really cares? The guy's a generational talent. It's 2 weeks. Let him go to a concert. I'm sure he consulted with his doctor. You know, he was wearing the glasses. He did what he needed. And quite frankly, that's my take on the whole situation. You know, he's the best wide receiver we've ever drafted, possibly the greatest player the New York Giants have ever drafted. So 2 weeks, not too big of a deal. But that's my thoughts. So, yeah, we're going to go with X here because X has quite a take.
Yeah, you know, I'm a little bit on the opposite spectrum. I will say I think I've died down a little bit on it as the days sort of progress. Because I do reckon. No, hold on. Let me.
No, you can't.
I get it.
You
Hey,
can't
whoa, you
switch
can't.
up because
You
of the
can't.
past.
Whoa. You can't interrupt me. Thank you. So now, I will say though, the optics of this, I'm still gonna fully stand on. I think when you go out to a concert while you're injured, I just think it's a bad look for the team, you know, especially when the head coach himself gets asked about it. And instead of just sort of backing up his guy or, you know, saying like it's not, you know, whatever, he says, oh, we're going to handle it in-house. Now, what that means, I don't know. Do they talk to him or whatever and say, oh, you can't do this? I don't know. But I think optically, yeah, it's really bad. And also, concerts have strobe lights, very loud. I don't think if you're recovering from a concussion, you want to be put in an environment like that. So personally, I've suffered from a concussion. Was not the recommendation from my medical advisors, but that's just my personal experience. So yeah, what do you guys have to say?
I mean, you know, we can argue optics all we want, but I think if we're arguing optics about Malik Nabers going to a concert, we have to open the umbrella to the optics of the entire NFL. Things like the 49ers putting Jordan Mason in for one play, you know, so Vegas doesn't have to, you know, pay out a bunch of money, etc. So I think if optics are the debate, we have a lot more to talk about than just Malik Nabers going to a concert. And quite frankly, we weren't there. We don't know what he did. You know, he could have had earplugs in. He had glasses. You know, who knows?
You go to a concert and you have earplugs in though?
See it all the time.
Pretty base.
Pretty based, yeah. Yeah. All right. What about you, Briss? What's your stance on it? Again, you know, I brought up in the group chat. I bring it up in the group chat because it's just like, you know, I know my friend here is a Giants fan. I'm like, is this what you want to see from your franchise cornerstone? Basically, we're 4 weeks in and there's already some stupid little dumb Twitter controversy. I do think part of it was a slow news week, but I don't know, people were talking about it, so it's worth something to monitor.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
That's what I'm saying. In my opinion, he earned a max contract in 3 games. Jim Mara is gonna pay that man. And quite frankly, I think Brian Dable's statement of keeping it in-house was the correct thing to say. I don't think he should be going out there saying, oh, you know, I would have rather he didn't, but, you know, he's his own man, so he can do what he wants or whatnot. I think that was the best answer Dable could have given was we're keeping it in-house. But that's just me. That's just me, but...
Okay, let's say this. Yes, it was not wrong, but it looked bad that he went to the concert. But he's 21. He's going to do what he wants. He's young. He's balling out, showing what he can do. And, you know, if Travis Scott's in town and invites you to come to his concert, are you going to say no?
Yes, because we have an issue in the NFL with concussions. We have an issue in the NFL concussions. You guys see it every single week. A player is getting concussed. We got to take these things seriously. Prioritize your health, young man. I want to see you on the field. And, you know, That's all. That's
And
basically my opinion on
and
it.
another
Who cares about a Travis Scott concert at the end of the day? So lame.
and if we're gonna, I mean, like,
Sound like a hater.
Maybe.
hey, he's in stage 3.
No,
He was in
sound
a
like
light
a hater.
aerobic exercise. You know, he was already past the rest and recovery stage, so it is what it is. But that's that. We had to bring that up because I think on Friday, me and X in the group chat were literally arguing for like an hour straight about this. Like, it was getting a little heated, you know, but it is what it is. But next topic, we're gonna go to the next one, which as a Giants fan is just absolutely fucking beautiful. We're going to talk about Dallas Cowboys have the worst home loss since Jerry Jones bought the team in, I believe, 1989. 1989. They lost, 47-9. You lose by 5 touchdowns and a field goal. You have Dan Campbell out there just running the craziest plays. You got Dan Campbell passing to Taylor Decker. You're running hook and ladder plays to your tackle. I mean, that's just, you're not even trying. You're just literally embarrassing this team. I mean, and I think the reason why he did all these trick plays is because of last year when they said that the Taylor Decker didn't report as eligible. So Dan Campbell's like, he's eligible this game. You had 3 different tackles catching plays or running routes and stuff like that. That's insane. Offensive tackles. You're talking about some of the biggest players on the field. 300 plus dudes sitting at 6'6" out there running routes. And then on top of that, you ran a flea flicker to Sam Laporta for a 52-yard tug. I mean, just embarrassing. That's my take. Is if I was a Cowboys fan, I'd be completely embarrassed. Yeah. And $60 million for what? For what? So that's
I would not call myself
America's team, baby. America's team.
Look, I would not call myself a Cowboys fan. I will respect the franchise though. I am a Cowboys respecter. These two over here just hate greatness, and that's all right.
Okay,
So,
if greatness means 5
it
turnovers,
means Super Bowls.
3
It means Super Bowls.
interceptions.
Now, let me finish. So, looking into this Dallas beatdown, though, I gotta say, absolute embarrassment, and it's clean house season for sure. There's a few coaches who are on the hot seat heading into this next week, and I think it's fair to say Mike McCarthy is for sure one of them.
Mm-hmm.
His usage of the running backs is extremely perplexing. You know, why is Ezekiel Elliott out carrying Rico Dowdle? 8 carries for 17, and Rico's got 5 for 25. Like, it's evident that you need to just phase Zeke out as much as possible. Maybe bring him down to like 20 to 30% of the snaps.
Yeah.
Also, Dak's inefficiencies too were very glaring, particularly in the red zone. You know, so that is I mean, it was just an ugly game from start to finish too.
Yeah.
They had a lot of defensive players out though. Not really that it's an excuse, but no Micah Parsons definitely doesn't help. So yeah, my sort of reaction to that game is they need a real running back. They need a real running back. They need to establish a running game, and Dak needs to play better. And also, Jerry Jones needs to stop being the GM. You should hire a GM. So
yeah,
but everyone says that. So
even the Cowboys fans are saying that, you know, he needs to not, because it's true.
I'm pretty sure I said this last week to you guys. I feel like, you know, when Jerry like flew in his helicopter, you know, walking around in the suit, dapping everyone up, it's all like, bro, does he really care about the football team, or I feel like he just cares about like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just seems
Absolutely.
like he's just like, oh, like, I'm the star of the show. I created this team. I pay you all. You know. But I don't know. I don't know. Seems like he doesn't really care. I feel like he's just cared about like money,
Yeah.
like tickets, ratings and shit. But I don't know, man. I think they would be better without Dak. I think giving Dak that contract was a mistake, and bringing Zeke back. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, it didn't
Zeke
work the first time. So
Zeke hasn't been
why
the
would you?
same since then.
Yeah, why would you bring Zeke back like later in his career when he was younger? It didn't work. You know what I mean? Like the most famous thing about Zeke's tenure in Dallas is when he jumped in the fucking Thanksgiving thing and acted like he was eating. Like that's the most famous thing Zeke ever did for the Cowboys. It's akin to DK Metcalf. The only thing we know DK Metcalf for is chasing down a defender. So it's just glaze. I chalk it up to glaze. Cowboys fans just can't understand. It's been about 3 decades since you had a Super Bowl. It's time for some serious change. Some serious change, you know?
New QB, bro. All I'm saying is they need a new QB and a new head coach.
Well, they're locked in. They paid him.
They
Yeah.
just paid their quarterback. There's no new QB. He
I know,
has to
but
play
like
better. He has to play better.
why? No, like what? Like what? If last year didn't make sense, what would make it sense to like? Oh yeah, let's fucking sign him up for another 4.
Especially with
Like,
the
what?
draft class coming up.
Because because quarterbacks are a high commodity. That's why. How many good quarterbacks are there? And even you guys will say, "Oh, Dak's not a good quarterback." Well, I mean, he's
Okay,
objectively top 10. He's objectively a top 10, and
yes,
there's 30
but
other NFL teams. So, I
he is
mean,
not him when it comes to crunch time. And there's been so many times where like he could have like extend. I don't know. I was always thinking about that one time that Dak knew he didn't have any timeouts. I think it was last year, right, or the year before that during the playoffs, where like he ran the ball, and then time was telling everyone to get ready for the spike and the game,
Yeah.
and everyone's seething.
Yeah.
yeah, the
He's
Ohio
seething.
quarterback pulled that off. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get there as well. That's
Yeah,
that's crazy.
literally the Ohio quarterback did the same thing you're talking about. So
Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I feel like that was more of a play for the Ducks. But we'll
yeah.
speak about it.
Yeah.
So real quick though on the Dallas thing.
Yeah.
I want to go more into what Detroit did. I want to give Detroit its credit. They're a 4-1 team. I think I love, and I mean love, their running back duo of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, it's
I think it's just completely lethal. Yeah, completely lethal. And there's nothing you can do in terms of schemes or like, because again, Sam Laporta does all of his damage off of one catch too, which is just crazy to me. Like 152 yarder in house.
yeah.
So
Which
yeah, it's going to be a tough team to defend.
yeah,
moving
and
forward.
that conference
You know what's
too.
even crazy is
Insane.
that the Cowboys have not won a home team like a home game this year. They're 0 for 3 for home games, which is
Ooh,
like,
not good.
ooh, not good.
No,
No.
not good at all.
But yeah, that's the Dallas game. We had to bring that up because I mean that was a beatdown. That was a pure beatdown. Felt like my last piece on it is I feel like Dan Campbell was just kind of trolling him. This week when he was preparing, he's just like, how can I just absolutely stick the knife in, twist it, and then just keep sticking it further into him?
Well,
And
they did get robbed. I think it was last year where they got robbed by 1 point. They scored and they called it back.
yeah, that's because I believe that's where
So like,
the ref said
this
that
is
the
like
lineman
just
wasn't
kind of
eligible.
like
Yep.
yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, this is like their kind of redemption.
Yeah, they're like,
It's kind of showing a statement. I don't
Major
know, bro. The
statement.
stats are just crazy, bro. 0 turnovers, 27 first downs, 492 total yards. Like, bro, they're really good, bro. And it's not like just one main person. St. Brown didn't produce like he usually does, but they got like Montgomery, Gibbs, Williams,
yeah,
Yeah, JMO
Florida,
is
bro.
scary, bro. He's got some
Like
burners on
they
him.
just have everything, bro. And Jared Goff is playing like crazy, bro. Everyone sleeps on Jared, bro, but I think he's
yeah,
pretty good.
315 yard, 3 touchdowns. I mean, You can't hate it because that's one thing that makes the Lions so good is like if someone like Amon-Ra is having a bad game, there's plenty of other players to pick up the slack, and I feel like that's not something you see a lot in the league. Other players stepping up to the plate like they did, like that David Montgomery touchdown run, disgusting. That was disgusting. That was disgusting. But yeah, that's that game. It was crazy. It was a good time. It was a beatdown. It was an absolute murder. Knife in, twist, keep sticking it in, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. But now I'm going to shit on my own team here because that Sunday night game was absolutely just horrible. That was horrible. I'm a Giants fan, and I literally turned it off in the third quarter. I could not continue watching. I mean, it's just to show that the Bengals didn't score their second touchdown of the game until the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. It was just 3 and out after 3 and out. It was horrible. It was a bad primetime game. You should have put Detroit, Dallas. You should have put Tampa Bay, Saints. You should have put Bears, Jacksonville, something. You could have put like any other game from the week there, and it would have been better. Horrible game, and I'm extremely disappointed in you guys over there in the Giants football team. That was horrible. Just horrible. I don't turn Giants games off. I turned it off in the third quarter. So, I went and played video games, literally. I turned it off and started playing video games because I was just getting pissed. So, that's my thoughts on the Sunday night shit show, as I call it.
Yeah. I'll admittedly, I did not watch the Sunday night football game. Did catch a little bit of the highlights, check the stats though, and I guess I'll just make it sort of quick little synopsis. I just think they were really missing Malik Nabers. I think that's just a completely different game because, all the three, like when you look at the play-by-plays, like just 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tracy, though, their running back, is intriguing. Is very intriguing to me. I think he's a rookie, right?
Yeah, 5th round pick out of Purdue.
So I think they might have something. I think they might legit have something over there in the Giants moving forward. I could see them potentially sneaking into like a wild card position because I don't think Philadelphia is really looking too impressive.
No, the whole division's horrible.
Washington is. Oh, sorry, I was about to say something real dumb. Washington is, but yeah, they might have a chance. They might have a chance. Malik keeps balling out. So.
They could get it. They could sneak it. We'll see. I don't think so, though. I think it's going to be Washington's year. And I think it's going to be a good game between Eagles and Commanders for the title of the division, but I don't think the Giants are going to get it. I think that's safely in the Commanders' hands this year.
Bengals, though, should be if you're a Bengals fan, you should be panicking.
Yeah. Even with a win last night. I remember one play.
You do not feel good about this at all.
No, there was.
When I was watching that game, bro, like all I kept on saying was like, the Bengals, turn it, like they gave it back, and then the Giants ran it down, gave it back. Bengals ran it down, gave it back, and
yeah, it was
I don't know, bro. And then like New York, I was really hoping for New York to come out, bro, because they had like, so many possessions and a lot of first downs, and they just couldn't figure it out. I don't know why. They just couldn't finish. And
yeah, and especially against that Bengals secondary. How are you not giving the ball to Wandale more? How are you not passing it down the field more? I just don't understand it. The Bengals have such a bad secondary that I thought there's no way Daniel Jones could be that bad. Because he's been playing decent enough, but to go out there and have a performance like that against such a bad secondary, I mean, in my opinion, is just catastrophic and quite embarrassing. But it's all right. We're gonna draft Cam Ward. We're gonna draft Shador. We're gonna draft someone, and we're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix this.
Hope.
Not cope. It is what it is. We're drafting them. I'll even take Perfect Timing. It'll be my new favorite song. So, anybody but Danny Dimes. But respect to Danny Dimes because he goes out there and he plays hard. He plays hard when he runs. He came off an ACL tear last year, and he's come back this year, and he's running on it.
11 carries for 56 yards.
Yeah,
Like
and a lot
if
of those were.
if Daniel, if any other running backs, if it's Josh Allen doing that, we're glazing him. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, because it
he's a
wasn't even
good.
like kneeling runs either. Sometimes he would just barrel into someone and get another 2 yards or something. It was pretty cool to see. He's leaving it all out there on the field like that, so I can't hate on the guy too much, but definitely should have cooked that secondary a little bit more, and it worries me that he didn't.
That Joe Burrow run was nasty though.
Yeah, he ruined it.
Was
He ruined it
not
with that
expecting
face. He ruined it with that face. That was just,
Uh-oh.
Demon Joe is looking kind of soft there. So insane. Yeah, Sunday night shit show, as I call it. It was awful as a Giants fan. I can't even cap on that one. But yeah, that's that. Not too much to say there because it was so bad. But we're gonna go. So we are recording this literally Monday Night Football ended like 45 minutes ago, and that was a great game, fantastic game. It was cinema. Aaron Rodgers was looking like the GOAT out there again. Hail Mary. He was hitting some passes and whatnot, and then he threw that pick and just ruined it. And then also
Typical.
the Jets need a new kicker.
Typical.
Yeah, typical. I agree, but that Hail Mary was crazy.
This game was a little bit like the Giants and Bengals game, bro. Like no one was finishing, giving the ball back. No one like marching down and just I don't know, bro. They couldn't figure it out.
Great first half though. I mean, I think the first half started off way better.
Yeah.
They had more combined points than the
half,
Bengals, and the second half definitely
exactly
started
like
off.
the Giants and the Bengals game. Just
There was also 22 accepted penalties, which I think was tied for the most in the NFL this year. So it was, the rest kind of got to hold those flags. There was a couple, that Lazard pass where Lazard was in the end zone, and then I forget what defender it was, but just his grabbing his arm, and they didn't call that PI, but then they call PI on number 4 on the Jets for, it just doesn't make sense sometimes, and penalties ruined it towards the end,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As well as their kicker too.
He had to have been getting the call.
Zeppelin.
He had to have been getting the call to miss.
I mean, because this game ends 26-23 if he does his job. You know, and I think we're totally talking about this game, and that's sort of what my expectation was. Like from the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth, I was thinking it's like, okay, like they have the momentum. Bills are stalling bad. Like Ray Davis did a hell of a fill-in for James Cook, but at the end of the day, they don't really have like a go-to guy like as a receiver option, other than Kincaid, and sometimes they don't really use him like all that much. Like you saw Dawson Knox sort of get in there in the end zone. Khalil Shakur, Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman, these guys kind of sprinkle in there, but the Jets knew what they wanted to do. I thought it was theirs to win, but unfortunately their kicker just literally hit the upright, I think twice.
Mm-hmm.
I think he hit it twice. So,
yeah, not good.
Crazy to me.
Not good. But on top of that, I'm going to ask you guys this. With the Jets' loss on Monday, how does the Robert Saleh firing look? Does it look a bit of an overreaction? Do you think it was justified? Do you think they played better? What do you think?
I'll take that. Yeah, I think it was. Well, first off, I know nothing about Robert Saleh. I bet he's like a good guy, obviously. But in terms of like some of his coaching, and I know a lot of people like mess with him in the locker room. Like I think Garrett Wilson was saying like, oh, we still are winning games for Robert Saleh, and like that's cool, backing up like a coach that got fired. I feel that. But last season, I'm sure you guys remember when Aaron Rodgers went down, and for weeks they could have made a trade, or they could have signed like Joe Flacco or something, literally off the couch, to have a competent quarterback in this Jets team, and they could have had a playoff. But he just decided to do nothing. He just kept saying Zach Wilson was the guy or whatever, and I think that was just a huge mismanagement and a huge missed opportunity for that team last season. And then going into this season, I don't think he was utilizing Breece Hall very well in the last few games. So you see with their new coach off rip, I mean, you see Breece Hall just having his best game of the season.
Yeah,
So
literally
I
won
think
me
he
my
does.
fantasy football game this week. Brees Hall did literally won it for me, and the last 2 weeks that was not. I mean, it was just I kind of it was brutal, but yeah, I think going forward the coach will be better. They,
Yeah,
they looked better.
I
They looked like
agree.
they were playing better today, for sure. I feel like they got a few wrinkles to iron out, but
And the penalties were bad too. I was like, they had a lot of holding penalties against them, illegal formations, like. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but
these things gotta
honestly,
get
if the kicker did, if the kicker just did his job, bro, they would have won.
exactly.
So,
yeah,
So I don't think it's yeah. I think they're. If
can
I'm a
you
Jets fan,
coach
I'm
kicking?
feeling better. If I'm a Jets fan, I'm definitely feeling better after this game
yeah,
compared to what didn't they play in the London game last week, right?
yeah,
Yeah, versus Minnesota, and yeah, that was just. I think it's a complete 180 in
yeah.
terms of their offense. That Lazard Hail Mary was so nice though.
Vintage Rogers
Vintage Rodgers,
at 40,
clean.
he can still,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even Mahomes was tweeting like, "How's he so good at that?" And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of wild, but I enjoyed that game. It was a good game. It could have been better, obviously, but it could have been way worse as well. It could have been way worse. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think in a couple weeks we'll see how the firing looks. I think it'll end up being the right move for the Jets offense, or I mean, just the Jets team in general to have moved on from him. But time will tell. Time will tell. Um, Although I think the best game in football this week, through all college or NFL, was the Oregon versus Ohio State. That was pure cinema. Absolutely, that was crazy. Everything about that game was crazy. Dylan Gabriel played extremely well. Probably the best game he's put together as a Duck. So it looks like the Ducks do have a good quarterback. But I think the biggest thing of the night was that Ohio State quarterback miscue. What was that? I don't understand it because could have at least tried. I mean, you could have at least tried. Like, you might not have gotten it, but why would you just slide when no one was around you? You know? Could have at least tried. But I don't know. That just didn't make any sense to me why he did that. And that's the image I can't get out of my head from the game, is that quarterback just selling like that. That was just, it was insane. But yeah, what do you think, Briss? Did you watch that game?
I couldn't, but I did see like recap, and I'm pretty sure they were down too because I was at work, but it was like they had seven, and then I'm pretty sure Ohio State was up. No, it's a pretty close game, but yeah, it's been a pretty close game for throughout. But um, I saw something at the end, towards the end, that the Ducks coach did. They actually put like a 12th man in the play just to have more coverage, and then that which led to a flag. But they got the coverage, so I don't know. I couldn't really forgot what what it was, but
Yeah, they put a 12th man in.
apparently, yeah, apparently he did that. He even though he got a penalty, but it didn't stop the clock.
Yeah, burnt like 10 seconds off the clock. Fun.
Yeah,
Tom Coughlin did that in the Super Bowl with the Giants when they beat the Patriots the second time. It was absolutely genius. You do that, you put a 12th guy on, it's a penalty. You take the penalty, obviously, but the thing is, it burns 10 seconds off the clock. So it leaves them with like
Yeah,
one play left.
The commentators basically like they describe it as a trade. It's like you're trading that 5 yard penalty for just stopping the Hail Mary like score pass, which
Yeah.
I don't know, seems pretty
You know,
smart to me.
people were saying they need to build a statue of the coach because it was that high IQ of a play, and I agree. It was a total 200 IQ play. I mean, it was genius. It was genius. I absolutely love in football when coaches do stuff like that. When they go out of the norm, they do unorthodox stuff, and it ends up working because it makes you look like a dog. It makes you look, it makes you look like you want to win. You're doing whatever it takes to win. You know what I mean? Not just going out there and hoping that your defense is going to stop them. You're saying, okay, well, let's give up 5 yards, but let's take 10 seconds off the clock. I mean, the defense could mess up, and now it's a first down or whatever, and you just eliminate that almost. You just eliminate that possibility, and I love that. I love that in sports when all types. It doesn't matter what sport it is, when it's high level sports and someone does something so unorthodox that like it makes you remember what it was. Absolutely amazing. But it's some of my favorite thing about sports is those type of plays. But
Yeah, no,
I think the Ducks are
absolutely.
gonna have a pretty good season this year, bro.
I was about to say this. I think this was a real come out game for the Ducks on the national. I don't know. I think they should get a lot of national hype. I think they should be up there with Texas
we'll
as
see.
you know,
'Cause I've been
possible
on.
natty.
I fuck with the Longhorns, bro.
I mess with the Longhorns, trust, but I love their receiver though, Stewart. You know what I'm saying? I think Stewart's real nice. 7 receptions, 149. Tug
Yeah.
got a good running back too.
I've just been a fan for Oregon for a while. Like I remember the 2010 season, we were raw. We were fucking cold.
Yeah,
But Cam
the one
Newton,
thing that I do like, I hope it changes this year because I follow more the Ducks than I do the Beavers. That the Ducks would always do so good, and then when it comes to the bowl, they just get shitted on,
shit the
bro.
bed.
Mhm.
Every
It's
time, bro, and it's like fuck. But I still love the Ducks, bro. Don't get me wrong. But I just hope this is just this come out is just different this year because it's looking like a really good team. The defense pretty good. They have a pretty good defense too.
yeah.
But it's just gonna be a dogfight from here. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Their schedule looks pretty. I think they'll make it.
Who do they play next week?
Purdue.
Oh, that's a win.
That's
That's a
what I'm
win.
saying. Look, Purdue, Illinois,
Could be an
Michigan,
upset though.
Maryland, Wisconsin.
Could be an
Yeah, you
upset.
never know with these college teams, bro. But I think the Ducks got it, bro. I think they're in their bags this year.
Yeah. We'll see how it shapes out though. The 12-man or a 12-team playoff bracket as well, because it's not just win one game and you're in. You know what I mean? You got to beat.
Right.
You got to beat a. Number 12. Who knows? You got to beat number 12. And the 12th seed team, whoever it is, may really want it a lot more than you do. May come out and play a lot harder than you do. You never know. And we'll see. I'm scared because being a fan of the Ducks for as long as I have been, I've seen so many blunders. I've seen too many blunders. I remember Mariota fucking up against Ohio State in the championship. I remember, us not not handing it off to LaMichael James in the national championship when we lost to Cam Newton. Stuff
Cam
like
Newton
that.
was a dog, though.
Yeah, 2010 Cam Newton was a dog, but he was literally the only player on that team. So
Mhm.
he's the only player on that team to
Literally
even
the
play in
only
the
player on
NFL.
that team.
Like he's the only player in that team to play in the NFL. None of his linemen
Yeah.
did. None of his receivers. His running back didn't. Like the running back, yeah. But that's my thing is the Ducks have these crazy performances in the regular season, but when it comes time to win that one game that you need to win, sometimes they struggle, and that's what I'm worried about. Especially if they play a team like Bama. I don't know how they're going to do it against that fucking Bama team.
Can Dylan Gabriel rise to the occasion?
We'll see. We'll see. He did on Saturday. That was a very legit win.
And he's been proven.
Yeah.
Proven, bro. He's legit Heisman. He's legit in the Heisman running.
Yeah.
So.
I still think that's solidly Ashton Jeanty's Heisman this year, though. That dude is cold. That dude is cold.
Yeah. Quick segue on that. I've been seeing people. They've been doing like these social media things with him, like with It's not Jason. No, it's from Halloween. Michael Myers.
Yeah.
They've been having him like mixed up with Michael Myers. I just think it's so funny.
Yeah.
A lot of running backs actually have done that pose. I think I've seen Gibbs do it too. So it's kind of, I don't really know much about it. Some people say like it makes the defense like not know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
I've seen you get like a certain type of burst, but yeah.
I've seen a bunch of teams or not teams, bunch of fans like on X and whatnot coping, saying like especially Rams fans saying, we know what team the NFL wants to draft Ashton, and that's the Rams. And I'm like, no, he's not going to the Rams. I want Ashton GT to enter the league and go on a team where he's going to be the main running back, and he's going to show everybody Barry Sanders is overrated and Ashton GT is here to take that throne. Period.
Viva Las Vegas, unironically.
I mean, perfect team for him. Perfect team for him. You got what is that dude? Jordan Madison, is that his name? And then you got I know all this all too well because I fucking drafted his bum ass, Zamir White. So automatically, I think you plug Ashton GT into the Raiders right now, doing better than both of them. Period. So the Raiders could draft him, and I think that would be a perfect spot for him to go. So that's my thoughts on that. But kind of a bit of a segue off the Oregon game, but it is what it is. Final thoughts on the Oregon Ducks game. Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema.
Great game.
And that's why I love college football. Sometimes I like college football more than the NFL because of, these kids are playing a lot harder. They're trying to get that contract in the NFL. And then another thing is that kickoff. I hate the NFL kickoff. And it's so much better watching college football and seeing normal kickoffs. So that's that. But that's pretty much our thoughts on the football week this week. It was a good week, but it wasn't, necessarily the most news heavy week with a bunch of controversies or a bunch of controversial games or something like that. But one thing we do have to talk about, because we are a lover of all sports here, it's the start of the NBA season. And we got this kid down in Los Angeles. Don't know if anybody's heard of him. His name is Bronny James, 55th pick of the draft. I think I'm gonna let X talk. I'm gonna let X go on this one. X, give your thoughts on Bronny first.
Yeah, I'd love to. Bronny James, I think, first off, I already know LeBron and all of his agents, or whatever we're gonna call up this podcast, and say, "Oh, don't talk crap about my son." But we're a free speech platform here, and we just gotta tell it how it is. This is sports. You know what I'm saying? It's about competition at the end of the day. And if you aren't competing, if you aren't producing, then you're totally worthy of scrutiny. You know what I'm saying? 55th pick or not. So with Bronny, I mean, I don't think there's really nothing else to say. What does he contribute to on the basketball court? Anyone?
It's a cool story that he's playing with his dad.
No, I'm talking about as a player.
I can't think of anything.
Is he a floor general? Is he a 3-point shooter? Because he's 0 for 6 so far in the preseason. Clearly not. I think he was 10% or whatever throughout the summer league. So that's not it. Lockdown defender. Maybe he's that. Maybe that's what he can grow into. He had 3 blocks in his first preseason game, averaging a block per season. Or sorry, a block per game out of 3 games. But but yeah, I think overall I think it's for sure a cool story, and you definitely don't want to hate on sort of cool stories like that for sure. But
it's where it ends.
I think it makes the product. I think it makes the product look bad. If I'm being for real, I think it makes the NBA product just look sort of weak. If I'm being, when you have these like Giannis and Bronny, and then what you got Jalen Brunson with the head coach, right? His father's the head coach, and then you got these assistants making all these putting all this type of pressure on because that's what I was seeing too in the preseason game, that they were talking crazy to Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle. It's so yeah, I don't like the whole nepotism part of basketball. I think people's play should just speak for itself, However, I think Bronny would have been so much better had he had just taken the time to really learn and understand the game of basketball and what he should do from the college standpoint. He should have been at USC till he was a senior, and then he maybe should have gone overseas. But I'm not his agent. I'm not his manager. Clearly, LeBron knows what's best for him. And the last thing I'll close off with this is any type of scrutiny or whatever that's being placed on Bronny is all in fault of LeBron James himself when he made that tweet that he's better than every single half the league or whatever in these cats or whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Bronny's better than half these cats I'm watching on League Pass today. It's get real, dude. Because Briss, you got any thoughts before I absolutely decimate this kid?
So coming into the league when he was at in college, bro, I just think he just had a lot of it's like the Jordan and the son thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he had like a lot of high expectations. His dad needs to be up there, and I feel like that's just kind of subconsciously just in his head where you're like, I gotta be the guy to shoot. You know, these step back 3 pointers. Make some space. I feel like there's like a lot of people that in the league that just don't want to be that role player. Like people hate to hear the word role player, but it's just being part of the team. What I'd like to see from him is you know hit the corner three, just be a straight up shooter, and being the first one to defend. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like that's where the Lakers would utilize him way better. But if he's trying to be this star player and like his dad, but like remember, it's your dad's team, bro. Like your dad's got to do that shit.
Yeah.
Under no circumstances should Bronny ever think about pulling up a mid-range contested shot. Ever. It should never cross his mind, like that he's capable of doing that. And that's one thing that I saw. Like, there was like one pick and roll that I was watching that like made me. I was like, bruh, I'm not even a Laker fan like that. I like the Blazers, but like Bronny was like on the pick and roll, and instead of just sort of brushing up like his left shoulder up like with the guy who's like doing the screen, he's like hesitates and he does like a little step back, contested mid-range shot, clanks. And then I think if I even remember correctly, true, his teammate was able to get the rebound. They toss it back out to him while he was out like in the 3-point line open, a little bit of space. 14 seconds on the clock, he instantly shoots it, bricks it. It's like, bruh, you have time to set a play or do something like that. So yeah, I think Briss is hitting the nail right on the head, man. It's about the expectations that unfortunately it comes with being LeBron James' son, that people, and I think it's ridiculous. I think there's nothing wrong with being a role player. I think he should be proud of just being in the NBA for sure. Like
Yeah.
it's an accomplishment. So, but yeah, I think if I had advice for him, yeah, that I could even give to him would be, just lock in.
Yeah.
Lock in, focus on
So,
basketball. Do not be focused on Call of Duty, because what's up with this? You need a skin now? I mean, come on, man.
yeah.
That's
So,
all.
my thoughts on Bronny are this. I've been looking at like X. People are saying, oh, okay, it's crazy to have these expectations on the 55th overall pick, whatever, whatever. What no one is talking about, though, what absolutely no one is talking about, though, is last year when Bronny was in college, people are saying he's good enough to be number one overall. People are saying he could be the best player in that draft class, and that's absolutely ridiculous. When you are through your first 3 preseason games, and we get it, it's preseason, so it's not the whole world, but you got Anthony Edwards out there trying his ass off, putting up 31 in 26 minutes in a preseason game. When you are LeBron James's son, and you were last year getting glazed as possibly the best pick in the draft, and then you come in through three games and you put up 0.7 points per game, 1 rebound a game, 0.3 assists per game, no steals, 1 block per game, 1.7 turnovers per game, a 9% field goal percentage, and then 0% from both the 3 and the free throw. You're not even hitting your free throws. Absolutely deserving of all the scrutiny in the world, not because he's because he's LeBron's son or whatever, but because LeBron said he's better than half the cats in the league, and they said that this kid's good enough to be the number 1 overall pick. When that's just not true. When that is just simply not true. If they take Bronny at number 1, you're looking at Anthony Bennett. Is that his name? You're looking at a total Anthony Bennett situation. So, I mean, maybe we're hating on this kid a little bit too much through 3 preseason games, but I don't see it getting any better. And then all the people out there, they're going to reply and say, oh, well, Kobe's stats in his first few preseason games. I mean, get real. The dude came out of high school. And then, like X pointed out, I think it was the other day to me, back then, you developed your players. You didn't just automatically throw them in. So, and then, quite frankly, to compare Kobe's first few preseason games to Bronny's preseason games just shows that people are completely disingenuous and don't even can't even see past the liking of a player that they like. You can't see past, oh, it's LeBron's son, he's going to be good, and you're saying that he's better than Kobe was in his first few preseason games. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it goes to show that there's just too much glazing in the sport based off someone's name, period. I mean, was Bronny even like that in high school? Because I remember someone like, what's that dude on Denver? Michael Porter Jr. Is that Michael Porter Jr.? When Michael Porter Jr. was in high school, it was, I mean, you can look at his mixtapes now.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Perfect.
That was his comparison. Yeah.
Are you serious? They were comparing.
Yes, yes. And Andrew Wiggins as well is another one who was super cold in high school.
And they
Aaron
said that
Gordon.
he was gonna be like LeBron James.
Yeah. I said he was gonna be like LeBron James. He damn near was when he won the finals that one year. Shit.
That's crazy. That's wild. Yeah, that's my thoughts. It's like 55th pick or not. They were saying he's going to be the first one. And then word for word, man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Shit, lightweight hilarious. LeBron, you can come at me. I don't give a fuck. It's lightweight hilarious that your son's so ass. I'm sorry. It's not even lightweight hilarious. It's heavyweight hilarious. It's 225 in the UFC. It's hilarious. I mean, it is absolutely incredible to me, and beautiful. I love to see it. That's that. But
well, real quick though, I wanted to add too is like this goes into just the whole softening of like our generation or whatever, because you look at someone like Stephen A. Smith. I'm gonna bring up an example. This dude goes off on the most historical, hilarious rant about Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown is so ass. He's the worst player ever. Woo woo, right? And everybody in the NBA circle of basketball, like we were all in agreement on that. Like we thought it was funny. It was like, oh, that's so true. Like, you know why? Because we saw the tape. We literally could see Kwame Brown like, you know, missing easy catches from Kobe or dunking it and it just going right out. I like Kwame though. I like Kwame Brown. But the point that I'm trying to make though is like, what happened to the point where we're just being completely delusional on what we're seeing? Like Bronny literally the stats say he's the worst player in the entire NBA. He has the worst plus minus. I mean, he's being the worst player in the NBA. So how can he be better than half of these cats? Like, under what standard, you know?
Oh, so, yeah. Lightweight hilarious. Cardio. He's doing cardio out there, bro. Oh, that's insane. Yeah. But
that's my close off on the Bronny subject. The Bronny question. Hope you get better. Developing the G League.
I just want him to like shoot threes, bro. I feel like he'd be a great like 3-point specialist.
Like 3-and-D play?
Yeah. Sure.
That's all you got to do. And if that's all anybody expected of him, we wouldn't be like hating on him or whatever. But your dad, who arguably is the greatest basketball player of all time, is saying you're better than half the players in the NBA already, and you go out and you do that. I mean, you're just deserving of every bit of hate that you get, in my opinion, personally. You know,
look at Scoot Henderson. Like how much like we have to wait to develop him. Like I think he had like 10 points or whatever last year, and we still got like hope. Or Cope, yeah. I would say we got Cope that, you know, he's gonna transform into like this all-star type player. And his comparisons were like Ja Morant, Russell Westbrook, you know. So for real, we should just have more realistic expectations for Bronny. Yeah.
Would you rather have Scoot or Bronny?
Scoot.
Okay. I mean, Scoot's fine. He was the leading scorer in the last Blazers game, so I think Scoot's fine. But Bronny, not so much. Now, we're about out of time here, so we're gonna go ahead and do our picks. We're gonna do our pick'ems. We're gonna do NFL. We're gonna do obviously Week 7 NFL picks. We're gonna start a Thursday night. We got Broncos at Saints. I'm going Saints because I have Kamara on my team, so need the Saints dub.
Broncos at Saints, you said?
Yeah.
I think the Saints will pull it off. Saints are nice, bro.
I hope. But everyone hates Bo Nix, but I'm a Bo Nix fan. I mean, I think Bo Nix is doing all right. I think he's going to develop fine. So it's going to be a close game, I think. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think the Saints are going to edge it out a little bit. X, what do you think?
I'm gonna have to actually go with the Broncos on this
Okay.
one. I think the Broncos. I think it's gonna be a stalemate type game, kind of like the Jets one a few weeks ago, where it was like 10-9. I could see it being like that because the Saints have a rookie quarterback, obviously stepping in for an injured Derek Carr, and still think he's getting acclimated. And that Denver defense is elite. It is top 5. Though they are going to be missing their best corner, possibly. So have to check up on that. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Denver on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch it over. I think Denver's gonna take it.
Okay. I'll be the lone Saints guy purely because I have Alvin Kamara on my fantasy team. That's literally it. And I'm 3-3, so I need to be 4-3 next week. But we have another Europe game or some shit. I don't know if it's London or Germany or what, but we have an absolute toilet bowl with the Patriots Jaguars. So I don't even know. I'm gonna go Jaguars based off of just a random pick. I think that's a shit game. I feel so bad for like London or whoever has to watch that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm going Jags.
Going Jags. I'm gonna go tie. I think it's gonna be 0-0 game. No, I'm just kidding. I'll go against y'all. What? Well, nah. I'm gonna go Jags. I think Tank Bixby is raw. I think he's about to go off 150 yards. Seriously, lock it in. So he's gonna about to run up all over the New England defensive line.
All right, next one we got Texans against Green Bay in Lambeau. That's a great game if you ask me. Packers, one of the best defenses in the league. Personally, my favorite defense to watch is the Packers. I'm going to go Packers. I'm going to go Packers at home. I just don't see CJ getting
in
it done.
Lambeau?
Yeah. 10 a.m. game, the 10 a.m. slot. I think the Packers are just going to take it.
I would say Texans. Texans are taking it.
Yeah, I'm going Texans too.
Takedown's gonna pull it off. He's been having a good games. Well, good game, but he's gonna comeback season, bro. He's gonna show.
He has Tank Dell on his fantasy team. That's the only reason he's saying that.
And CJ.
And CJ.
Yeah, and CJ too. Nah, CJ. I think actually this has a really good potential of being also a real high-scoring game as well. So
yeah,
I could definitely see it scoring over like 43 points or whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, we should.
Are you going Texans? You already said Texans.
I'm gonna go Texans. Yeah. Straight
so
up, just think Diggs he's dirty, man. He's dirty.
We have the next game. Oh man, yeah. If you saw the TikTok from last week, you know what we're talking about. KekCast on TikTok on all socials. But we have a absolute slobber knocker for the 10 a.m. slot as well, which in my opinion, crazy that they didn't make this the primetime game. Lions at Vikings. So huge matchup, division game. That's the best division in the league right now. It's a massive matchup. I'm going to go Lions purely because I don't think the Vikings are going to be able to keep this undefeated thing going for the whole year. And if they're going to lose it all, it's going to be to the Lions off of that momentum last week. But it's in Minnesota, so you never know. But I'm going to go with Lions.
I'm with Josh. I think Lions, bro. They just have so much momentum right now.
Yeah.
They beat the Cowboys, so it's all like, this is their statement, bro. They're here to play.
Yeah.
There's just too many weapons, bro. Too many weapons. Good defense. I don't know. There's just a lot of momentum going on, so.
This is going to be at Minnesota, right?
Yeah, at Minnesota.
Yep.
I'll be the lone one to say it then. I think Minnesota is about to surprise a lot of people. I think Jared Goff's about to get sacked a lot. Coming into this, Minnesota is leading the entire NFL in interceptions and sacks. I think they're about to torch this defense. Some fierce. I also think Sam Darnold, because people talk about the weapons too. I think Sam Darnold can keep up with it with Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson is obviously a threat for an 80-yard touchdown any given play. We'll see. Aaron Jones is expected to play this week, so if not, Todd Chandler could come in. And I think they'll still be keeping the ball rolling. So I don't know. I think this defense is actually elite enough to where it's going to punch this Detroit Lions offense in the mouth. And yeah, I think Goff is about to get a lot of pressure on him. So I'm gonna go Minnesota.
Fair
And I don't
enough.
think it will be close either.
Okay.
I don't think it will be close.
Okay. Seahawks at Falcons. Is it Falcons? We are definitely bearish on the Seahawks after last week. Falcons all day.
Yep, Falcons. Great team. Great team.
Is X going to be the
All
lone
good
wolf
around,
again?
round. Yeah, he's probably gonna pick the Seahawks. I know.
No, I'm gonna go Falcons with
Okay,
y'all.
we're
I'm
all
gonna
in
go
agreement on
Falcons
that
with
one.
y'all. Yeah.
you.
Because the reason
Yes,
why the reason why is because the Seahawks like they have I think they got a real diva issue again, man. They got a diva issue with DK Metcalf. You know, the clip with him grabbing I mean, this dude grabs like these headphones where he's talking crazy to I don't know who.
Is the offensive
And I don't know
coordinator?
what he's talking to the
Yeah,
offensive
can we please
coordinator.
pass it past the sticks?
I mean, come on, bro. Like
I thought that was hilarious.
I think it
was
was pretty Chad.
I
Yeah.
think it was funny, but I think they got a lot of issues.
Yeah.
They got a lot of issues.
Yeah.
I think the issue
And
is
Gino as well.
personnel.
Gino as
Too much
well. Are
business
we not?
done.
Gino selling.
Yeah. Okay, next
Being
we
real.
got another toilet bowl if you ask me. Titans at Bills.
Bills.
Yeah, Bills are gonna win, but awful game. I'm
I'm
guaranteed.
gonna go Will Levis.
Whoa!
Actually, yo,
Whoa!
no, I ain't trolling on this one actually. So it's at the Titans, right?
Another Will Levis meme.
No, it's in
Is this
Buffalo.
Oh,
In
it's
Buffalo.
in Buffalo.
10
Okay,
a.m.
okay,
10
in
a.m.
Buffalo.
slot.
Ah, look, the Bills did not impress me this Monday Night Football. It's still in my head. It's still
Yeah.
in my head how mid they looked, and the receivers really are not that impressive. So I don't know. It's sort of just like I just feel like the Titans
Okay.
have a really good defense. You know, I think the Titans have a really good defense. So
All right.
yeah,
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with Titans.
Next, we have Bengals at the Browns. I mean, 3 toilet bowls. What's up this week? My God, that's an awful game. Bengals, I guess. I hate both of those teams, so I don't know. I think Bengals will take it, obviously. But man, not a fun game.
Not a
Yeah,
fan of both teams either. Yeah.
Bengals or Browns? Which one?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Bengals though. I'm gonna have to go with the Bengals. Just Deshaun Watson is the worst quarterback in the league. That's basically the deciding factor.
Worst in the league?
Yes, the worst.
Worse than
Without
Bryce
argument.
Young?
Bryce Young's not even a starting quarterback. I'd rather have Andy. If you want to do like Andy Dalton, I'd rather have Andy Dalton than Deshaun Watson right now. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Dolphins against the Colts in Indianapolis.
Colts.
Yeah, I'm going Colts.
Colts.
I don't
Oh,
like the
they have
Dolphins
Anthony
coach.
Richardson back.
Yeah, with no Tua, I think it's Colts. And then also Joe. Well, I don't know. That's a quick segue. I know we have short time, but like, is there a QB controversy in Indianapolis?
There should be.
Is there? Because when we see Anthony Richardson this season, he just has not looked very accurate or good. And Joe Flacco, hasn't he gotten them 2 wins, 2-1, right?
I believe so.
I think he's had 3 starts. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Me personally, I think they should stay with Joe Flacco, and Anthony Richardson should develop behind
Yeah.
him.
1-1.
I know the fantasy implications of that would have people seething. I know a lot of people like draft him in like, early fourth or fifth round or whatever, but I think from a quarterback standpoint, a developing standpoint, I think it would be really good for him.
Yeah.
And Joe Flacco makes all these pass catchers so much better. He makes everybody so much better when he's playing. So,
Joe's a dog. I mean, he's still there.
mhm.
It's kind of wild. He's still playing. Ooh, we have the last 10 a.m. slot, Eagles Giants. Clear. I'm a Giants fan, so I'm going Giants. Malik's back. Smashing. We're smashing the birds. Go birds go. More like, the birds suck, and the Giants are here to fucking pound town. Malik's getting fucking 250 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. 26 targets. It's going to be a slaughter. It's going to be WrestleMania, tables, chairs, ladders. It's going to be brutal for the Eagles. Yeah, that's my prediction.
All right, I'm saying Eagles.
Clearly, they don't know ball.
I think Saquon's just gonna, 2 TDs, 2 TDs by Saquon. Only way this fucks
He ain't
up
doing
is
shit.
fucking-
He ain't doing
is
shit.
the fucking Earth fucking sells, which is a possibility, but
Yeah.
everyone's back. AJ Brown's
Yeah,
back.
AJ Brown,
Smith's back. Saquon
Mhm.
Barkley's back. So only way they lose this game is if Hurts fucks it up.
I agree. I just can't say the Eagles are going to win shit. So.
I kind
Don't
of
get
want
me
to go
wrong, I
with
want
the
the Giants to win, bro. But
Yeah, I want the
I
Giants
want
to
the
win, so
Giants
I'm
to
gonna
win.
just
And
pick
this
them.
is a game where I won't be surprised if the Giants win, because
Yeah.
this is literally where it's all up to Hurts, or let Saquon. Ooh, yeah, honestly, bro, I think Saquon's about to have a game.
You
I
think
think he's about to
Saquon's?
have a game.
First off, is this at Giants,
Yeah,
right?
it's in
So
New
this
York.
is the revenge game. This is
Mm-hmm.
the true revenge game
Yeah.
slot. Yeah, I'm not a big believer in the whole revenge game sort of thing. Sometimes it happens, but there's a lot of times when it doesn't happen and we just totally forget about it. So I feel like, and this Giants D line is actually pretty legit. So I actually think they have a legit chance of containing Saquon. Question though is AJ Brown gonna have over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns? Probably. So that's just sort of
Okay.
how. But Malik Chu is gonna match that, so I think it's actually gonna be a really close game. I think
Yeah.
Malik and yeah, so the
Yeah.
Malik comeback season is real. He's
So
about to hurt people.
next game, we're moving to the 1 o'clock slot. We have Raiders Rams in Los Angeles. I'm going Raiders because I'm not a fan of the Rams. I think personally, I've never been a fan of the Rams since they made the stupidest decision in NFL history to move from St. Louis to LA. So hopefully the Raiders pound that. That's my Raiders all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Raiders as well. Obviously bias. I picked us to lose last week, but I thought the script was just pretty obvious there that Justin Fields was about to cook with his back against the wall. I didn't expect Najee Harris though to just totally act like he was Derrick Henry and just stun every single one of us, but that is what it is. Um, so yeah, I think the Raiders though are gonna win. I think this offense on the Rams side is just extremely depleted. Maybe Cooper Kupp comes back though,
No,
possibly. So
I don't think he's coming back.
okay,
Yeah, the whole Rams depth chart is all fucked up, bro. So I'm gonna say Raiders. I think the Raiders are gonna have a good week.
Yeah, for sure.
But let the Raider fans have a dub. Let them have a dub.
The other, so we have 2 more 1 o'clock slot games. We have Panthers, Commanders, and Chiefs, Niners. I'm going Commanders, and then I guess the Chiefs. I don't see the Niners beating the Chiefs.
on that 40.
Commanders and Niners, bro.
Say that again.
I think I'm gonna sit. I don't like the Niners, but I think the Niners are gonna pull this off. They're playing at home, bro, and you know if Chiefs got it like that, and get their penalties and win at home for the Niners, I'll be surprised, bro. But I think the Niners are gonna throw an upset.
Okay, fair enough. Panthers Commanders.
Because isn't this like isn't this like the Super Bowl from last year,
Yes.
right?
Chiefs,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a Super Bowl rematch. Yeah. Um, hmm For me though, on this 49ers Chiefs game, I don't think the Chiefs really looked all that impressive though without Rashid Rice. So, I
fair
mean,
assessment.
Juju, yeah, I think Juju did a pretty good like Walmart version of being a wide receiver one, but like I don't think that's gonna
Yeah,
uh
Niners
keep going
defense is
against this
nice, bro.
49ers defense exactly.
They're
Yeah,
nice.
so
Fred
I
Warner,
think they
bro,
got,
he's
and then they
fucking
have all
cool.
their weapons too. They have all their weapons obviously minus CMC. Ayuk's back, Debo's back, Kittle's cooking. Purdy, I think Purdy's been having some misses, but for the most part, I think he's been playing pretty good.
yeah,
I don't think a lot you could like there's an argument where the 49ers are like, you know, 5-1. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
there was so many close games for them. So they
yeah.
haven't really been getting blown out like that. So I think it will be competitive. I think they'll edge it out though, for sure.
Okay. So the Sunday night game is the Jets against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I
That's
want to
gonna be an
say
ugly game.
Steelers. Yeah, I want to say Steelers, but I feel like I don't know. I might
I'm
go
gonna say
Jets on this one.
Jets.
Yeah, I got to go with the Jets
I'll
on
say
this one.
Jets. I think they're gonna, I think they're gonna tighten it up. They played really good today, bro. Really good. So I think the kicker needs to, start kicking a little bit more.
Yeah.
Quit fucking selling. Um, but it looks good, bro. I think the Jets will figure it out.
Okay. X, what are you thinking?
Oh man, I think it's a tough one. I think it's gonna be a really ugly game. That yeah. I've I'm gonna have to go Steelers, honestly. I think it's anyone's guess though. It's a real
Yeah.
defensive showcase, and actually, no, I'm actually gonna go really confident here on the Steelers. Um, because I think Mike Tomlin is just gonna outcoach the new hire. If I'm being real, I think it will just come down to that.
Okay. That's fair.
I think I'll outcoach him. Same, because that was sort of my mindset going into like last week too, when it was Antonio Pierce versus Mike Tomlin. I was like, oh, okay, like, and even watching the game, you could just tell. I don't know. I felt like just Tomlin has just been here. He
Yeah.
knows. I think he knows how to do it, especially on this primetime football, right?
Yeah, it's Sunday night.
Yeah, yeah. I think Tomlin's gonna show out,
Yeah. Some of my
just like they did against the Steelers or against the Cowboys.
yeah.
So
I really do like Steelers Sunday night games though, because it's always a close game. Um, moving to Monday night though, we have two games on Monday night. First up, we have Ravens against the Buccaneers. Um, honestly, I'm picking the Bucks here. I'm picking the Buccaneers here. I think, yeah, I think after last week, I got to go with the Bucks personally. I don't know. Something's calling about it. Something's calling me to pick the Bucks. So that's my assessment there. Purely a pick 'em. Just no real reason for it other than I'm just saying the Bucks are gonna win.
I do like the energy of like just the Bucks team. And obviously there's been a major hurricane, in that region, and I just feel like that whole team and organization has really rallied around sort of the recent events. And I don't know, this last win that they got was, I already know it was probably just huge for the city. So 51 points, man. And it was like the
Crazy.
best rushing like duo they've had like since Leonard Fournette or whatever. So yeah. Um I love my Bucks. I'm loving my Bucks. I think I'm just gonna pick the Ravens every single week, so long as Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, and Zay Flowers are healthy. You know, that because I'm really that bullish on all three of them.
Okay.
Particularly Derrick Henry. I mean, he is scary. He is a freight
Yeah.
train.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anybody on the Bucks defense that is gonna be able to stop him from
Yeah.
stiff arming and going for 60 yards to the house.
Yeah, the diet's working.
Yeah, yeah. No, this team's scary, and also I just feel like Flock Nation just seems really locked in. You know what I'm saying? After they had a real rough start, like 0-2. You know, had an embarrassing whooping by the Raiders. You know, and that it is what it is. But ever since then, I feel like this team has really made the right direction. Taken the right
Absolutely.
direction.
So last game of the week, we have the Chargers against the Cardinals in Arizona. I'm gonna go with the Cards personally. Although I don't know, is Marvin Harrison gonna play this week? Isn't he hurt?
No,
Oh,
he got concussion.
I don't know.
Most
Probably gotta go to
likely.
Chargers.
Most likely.
Yeah, I gotta go with the
Yeah.
Chargers then. If Marvin Harrison's not there, so we'll go with the Chargers on that one. If Jim Harbaugh doesn't have a fucking another heart attack on the sideline, but yeah, we'll go with the Chargers. Timeout for hate, Jim Harbaugh.
I think Cards.
Okay.
And
They
Cards.
they don't need Marvin Harrison Jr., bro.
Yeah. He wasn't really like in the past like couple weeks. He hasn't really been. If I just pull him up real quick here. Yeah,
In the
last
first couple of weeks, they didn't really need him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
He's not his
I think
dad.
I think Michael Wilson can step in, and they'll still. I think like the ball can still
Yeah.
keep rolling. James Conner though is looking really inefficient. So I don't know. This kind of in the first quarter too, watching the Cardinals, I thought, damn, Kyler Murray like just looks terrible, and it's just so crazy to me because he can go from one week you think like, damn, this is like one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL. He can scramble, he can throw like 60 yards, he can make plays. Like I still have him scarred from last season against the Raiders. I think he came back and like he forced like overtime off of a crazy scramble against us. But then you have games like this, and it just looks like he's just completely like off base with his receivers, and you know,
Yeah.
so
Um.
not feeling the cards. Not feeling the cards this
Yeah.
week.
Chargers.
Unfortunately. Yeah,
Chargers.
Chargers.
Plus, Jim Harbaugh is too good of a coach, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Primetime. Is it his primetime debut? No. Right? Is it his primetime debut in the NFL? I mean, this season, anyhow. I
At
don't
least
know.
this season, I think.
I think it
I
just
don't think
yeah,
the Chargers.
not in the intent
Chargers
of
haven't played.
this season.
Yeah.
But I think Jim's gonna get it done. But that's that. Those are our picks. That's the KekCast number 2. So we'll be back next week, Monday night, to record number 3, and it'll be live. It always goes live midnight on Tuesdays. So yeah, that was a good one. Any final words from X or Briss before we log off here?
Nope.
Like, sub,
Comment.
share,
If you think we're
comment
stupid,
that-
if you think we have horrible
Mhm.
takes, we want you to tell us. We want
I wanna
arguments in the
hear it.
comments. We want an
Yeah.
absolute. We want
Yeah,
it
do
all.
you know ball?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
know
do
ball?
You know ball?
Do you know ball? Because here's the thing: if someone is in there and you think you know ball better than us, we will bring you on the show. We will bring you on the show, and you can come in the smoke, you can come in the heat, and you can see if you do know ball. So, like X said, like, subscribe, comment. You can hit that notification bell for when we post. And if you have the balls, to come on here and put your face out there, let us know. We might work something out. I don't know, but. KekCast on all socials. Like, subscribe, comment. We will see you guys in week 3. Boom.